Hey everybody, this is Dallas Stone here again, doing another video for you guys. And today I'll be doing a video on recommended software as a 3D artist. So I'm going to be going over free software, and then I'm going over paid software where you don't need a license, and what I use personally and what I use at work. So first and foremost, let's talk about the 3D programs. For me at work, we use 3D Studio Max, or we did use 3D Studio Max. We're slowly getting away from 3D Studio Max because our system doesn't need it anymore. Most of us in our team learned Maya, and so the only reason why we use 3D Studio Max is because the plugins for our game engine worked a lot better with 3D Studio Max. So whenever we created a model in Maya, we would then move it over to Max, and then from Max we would export it out and put it into our game engine. So those are the two softwares that we use, and Blender is going to be a free one that I'll be talking to you guys about. That's like a free 3D program. A lot of people in the industry are starting to recommend Blender as a free alternative if you cannot afford 3D Studio Max or Maya. So let me show you guys my screen here. I have a bunch of this software on my screen. So there we go. Hopefully that's enough for you guys to see. So here I have 3D Studio Max, right? I mean, you can download the free trial if you like for the I believe it's for the first month. It's free. Here's Maya, right? For people who don't know what the software looks like. This is Blender. I've been trying to get Blender to load, but Blender is not, the website's not loading up right now. Maybe they have some server issues or something. But this is their logo right here. Okay, this is Blender. It's blender.org. And now I'm going to go to the 2D software. Okay, I'm going to quickly go over 2D software. Photoshop CS2 has become free, but I just realized when I went to their website to check this out, they're putting up a warning saying that unless you actually have the software, it's not going to work anymore. So that's kind of unfortunate. But so I mean, or sorry, they're not registering keys anymore. But I haven't tried this. But if you guys are willing to try out Photoshop CS2, which is quite old now, but it still has all the necessities that you're going to need to create textures. That's what these 2D software, these image editing software is going to do for you. It's going to be creating your textures for your meshes. So Photoshop CS2 is really good, and then GIMP is the free alternative to Photoshop. I personally don't use GIMP very much, and that's because I use Photoshop. But a lot of industry people have recommended GIMP if you cannot afford Photoshop or an Adobe Suite, because most of these software is really expensive. Now let's go into some more advanced modeling. And Mudbox is also with Autodesk, so it integrates really well with Maya and 3D Studio Max, and it does a lot of sculpting, like 3D sculpting, high resolution 3D models. Like when you want to put beautiful detail into something, you would use Mudbox, and then you would bake the high poly models into a lower poly model. So it's really cool, and like I said, it's advanced modeling. Same with ZBrush. ZBrush is the exact same thing. The only difference is that ZBrush works really well with a tablet. I find that it's almost really difficult not to use ZBrush unless it's with a tablet. So ZBrush kind of started it all, really, or made it popular to do high poly resolution models and adding the details. Mudbox kind of was on its own, and I'm pretty sure Autodesk bought them out, or Autodesk partnered up with them. And then Sculptris is the free alternative to Mudbox and ZBrush. Now I've been told that this is the free alternative. I actually don't know what comes with Sculptris. So yeah, it's definitely worth checking out if you want a free alternative. Now I'm going to go into game engines. You know, check out all the meshes and props that you've created. Now, how do I build a level with it? How do I put it in so I can jump in and play the level? That's what a game editor is, essentially, right? So, Unity 3D. This is a free one, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's free unless you're doing commercial. And if you make money, I think you have to pay for it. Again, I'm not 100% on the full details, but it's always really cool to check out your models. Not only see it in Maya, because seeing it in Maya is different than seeing it inside a game engine. It's more important to make sure that it looks better in a game engine than it does in Maya. Okay, I want people to remember that. So Unity 3D, and last but not least, UDK, the Unreal Engine 3. This is now free, I believe. Again, I mean, there's tons of licensing stuff on here as well. I mean, I'm not gonna go over it. I think it's free of charge if you're using it to use UDK commercial purposes, not specifically authorized. Got to agree to some terms and things like that. Okay, so UDK, Unity 3D. Make sure when you have your models ready to go, put your stuff into these engines so you can see how it looks like in a video game. That is very important. So that's just kind of a quick overview of all of the software that kind of what the industry is using, and it's a great way for students and people who are learning 3D. You know what software they should be expecting to know, and the knowledge when they get into the industry. This is kind of the industry standard at the moment. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hopefully you guys can watch my next one.